All right. Hey, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Trading Bitcoin with your host, Tone Vays. Coming to you live from Las Vegas, Nevada. I am here for a few meetings regarding Unconfiscatable Conference. And it's incredible how they dropped the mask mandate just in time. Also, Super Bowl this weekend. So it's hard to even get a hotel room or a restaurant for a steak dinner. But we do have a restaurant for a steak dinner. There might be one more seat open for that. I could only get a reservation for 6 people. So it really sucks. I kind of wish that this was not Super Bowl weekend because it would be a lot easier to navigate. But yeah, everyone's here. Everyone just like flooded here. Even like the hotel staff are not wearing masks anymore. They completely dropped the mask mandate. Everyone is super happy. Just as we thought would happen, the mask mandate would drop just before our conference coming up in 3 weeks, and it has. So that is absolutely awesome. All right. Mask Free Vegas. That's right. Looking at my Twitter right now. Let's go to screen share. This is going to be a shorter stream. I want to do spaces. I checked. I was deciding, do I want to do a stream? Do I want to do spaces? I'm going to do a stream, and I'm going to announce that I'm going to do spaces. So I'm going to keep this stream a little bit shorter. There's my tweet about the mask mandates dropping. And you guys saw my interview yesterday with Unchained Capital. Yeah, so mask mandates are done. Unconfiscatable. Come join us in awesome Las Vegas. Still a little chilly here at night, but in a couple of weeks, it's going to be great. It's already warm during the day. March is the perfect time to be in Vegas. March and April. After that, starts to get a little bit hot. So come and join us. It's going to be absolutely excellent. Okay. Yeah, Las Vegas was as bad as California because Las Vegas is an extension of California. They pretty much have it's just as it's identically politically as California. So the mask mandates were equally as bad. That's why Vegas was empty. It was empty the last few years, and finally, like today, we barely get out of the airport. It was insane. Everyone just boom for the Super Bowl. Everyone came. So definitely come join us in Las Vegas. All right, the charts are not looking very hot right now. We're going to take a quick peek and then come and join me on Twitter Spaces. I'm going to try to set that up as the unconfiscatable handle. Hopefully, I won't have as many tech issues on that side. Not much to say about the weekly chart. Let's just wait till the weekend. That's tomorrow. We got one more day. During the Super Bowl, it will end. These are more interesting charts. This is our 4-day chart. This is our allocation chart. The allocation chart entered Bitcoin at around $42,000 for an additional 20%. We touched that area of $42,000. As I mentioned a couple of streams ago, I did not see it necessary to either add to this position nor take profit from this position because I'm comfortable with a 40% allocation. Now, in a perfect world, I can pick this up on a pullback to the intermediate term moving average, but I was hoping we would pull back from one more high close. And the reason for that is one more high close would have nicely started to scoop up this moving average and have it trending to the upside. Right now, I would consider this moving average as being flat. And if it's flat, I'm not going to be as interested buying more into this position off of a flat moving average, considering we did not clearly go way higher above that moving average. So we're going to take a wait and see approach. This is the retirement portfolio, allocation so that you don't get wrecked. There's no leverage here. And now you can use the other 60% on other assets. Now, what other assets would I consider putting in instead of holding 60% in cash? Well, one of those assets would potentially be oil. Oil has been on a huge rise the whole time. I may do this in the near future, guys. I may just, if I am looking to overhaul my businesses, and I may be just maintaining a balanced portfolio. And that balanced portfolio would have probably had oil in it the entire time. Just the oil ETF, keep it simple. I'm still very bullish on oil. Oil has been super bullish this whole time. That's the monthly chart. I don't know why I'm looking at the monthly chart. We can stick to the weekly chart. And check this out. Good thing I switched to a weekly chart. the weekly chart is coming up on its MRI top. So oil is about to have a top. Look what happened the last time oil had a top. We pulled back for a little bit and then started a new one, a new rise to the upside. We're going to do this again. So I am expecting a top in oil coming up next week with the MRI. And then after a little bit of a pause, continuing the upside, because I am expecting new all-time highs for oil. Another asset I will consider is actually gold. I know I made fun of gold on yesterday's stream, that it's a total basket case and it hasn't done much, but I like this technical pattern right here. I do need gold to break 1865 area, and I do think gold could rise, especially in a world of high inflation. Another asset I would consider is the S&P 500, but only after it breaks these highs that it achieved earlier this month. Right now, I would not really want to be invested in the S&P, though on a weekly scale, and I shouldn't be doing it here, I should be doing it here. On a weekly scale is just a pullback, but the moment we start trending back up, that becomes another good asset. I don't like the RSI on the S&P. I don't like the MACD on the S&P at all either. And someone is asking me in the live chat to look at TLT. Hey, Sand Snake, hope all is good. You've been watching me for a long time. All right, I'll take a look at that in a minute. Let's go back to Bitcoin. And also, once again, I got to promote Unconfiscatable. The conference is coming up in a few weeks. And after that, I'll be promoting the Financial Summit in August. All right, daily chart. Oh, we're bouncing nicely right now. As I stated, whoa, we just moved like $1,000. Beautiful. Let's go. I'm going straight to the low-level chart here. Earlier, this is the 4-hour chart. So like an hour and a half ago, we were sitting right about 42, and now we're about 43. Beautiful. As I stated yesterday, I believe this area will hold. I believe this declining 50-period moving average is going to hold Bitcoin up. I don't know if I still need this downwards trend line. The trend line was clearly broken. Now that the trend line has been broken, remember, I always use the most conservative option. Now that the trend line has been broken, the new most conservative option is actually this. The new most conservative option says, hey, you know what? Maybe you broke this trend line a lot earlier than you thought you did. And now you actually have room and you don't have to worry about this trend line anymore. So that is the case. I'm actually going to delete it because now it's just cluttering my charts. I've seen it. This is my area of resistance, and I'm going to leave this. In fact, I'm going to lower it because now hindsight is always 20/20. I'm going to lower this line to make sure that the resistance is touching the top of the candle from 2 days ago. And now we have an exact dollar amount of where Bitcoin needs to break in order to break out. You see this downward arrow. I assumed Bitcoin would top around this area. I thought Bitcoin would top today, but it topped a few days earlier. I'm just going to take this arrow. I'm going to swing it to the upside, because once we break above that line, I believe we're going to go right into this death cross. Is this death cross relevant? I have no idea. Probably not too relevant, because it is the 128 versus 200. And as much as we love the 128 in isolation, I don't really care for the 128 as a crossover versus the 200. Okay, just to clear that up. So on a daily scale, we have flipped the MRI. We did not get to the MRI top. And that is potentially a bullish sign, because now we can just kick off another round of counts to the new upside. We're going to keep an eye on this. I'm going to glance at the funding rate, and it's awesome that the funding rate has never really went in favor of the bulls. So that is still potentially coming. The RSI is leaning bullish. The MACD is still leaning bullish. The CMF is very bullish, and the volume isn't necessarily great. But I'm going to stay optimistic here that we did bounce, and the short-term low is in, and now we should head this way to the upside. How do I know I'm wrong? That is very easy. All we need is a sustained close below the declining moving average, break yesterday's low, and then trouble will start. If trouble starts, I don't believe anything in the 41,000 area is going to be significant enough support. if trouble starts, the only piece of support we have is the $39,000 area. If Bitcoin loses the $39,000 area, we are in serious trouble for 2022. And I mean serious trouble for 2022. If Bitcoin breaks the $39,000 area, we are back below the intermediate term moving average in our consensio. The short-term moving average is going to be crossing back below the intermediate term moving average, which rarely happens. So I don't give this a high probability. And if we get into the high 30s, I will be back fully into cash, anticipating a move down into the 25 or lower $1,000 area. It is critically important for Bitcoin not to get below $39,000 at this point in time. To me, below 39,000 at this point in time opens the door to 20,000. I will be completely out of all of these allocations. Even considering a short position. That's how bearish I would feel if the price of Bitcoin goes back below $39,000. We don't know what the future holds. We are not Miss Cleo, right? All we can do is read the charts and, to the best of our ability, allocate our positions. And my view is a sustained close below 39,000 makes me a bear. Almost a bear. Maybe below 36, I would be a bear, but at a sustained close below 39,000, I am considering shorting. That's how critical it is for Bitcoin to maintain this $40,000 level at this point in time. I cannot stress that enough. No, Vegas actually is not great anymore. Vegas used to be one of the best places on earth, but now it's great today because it's Super Bowl weekend and the masks are off. But I have been very frustrated with Vegas in the last couple of years since the COVID restrictions came in 2020. And I spent a lot of time in Vegas, guys. A lot of time in Vegas. Okay. That's it. This video has already gone a little longer than I thought. I'm not going to look at stocks today. I do want to do quick spaces and talk about the conference, talk about, whatever you guys want to talk about. The floor will be yours on spaces. The one thing I do want to take a look at TLT. We will glance at TLT. I still think this might be the best trade of the year. Tilray off of the daily, weekly, monthly MRI buy. Trade of the year. Watching and talking about this kind of stuff in real time as I did makes me want to quit everything and go back to trading. Like, done. Like, I'm out. I'm just gonna go trading. I'm gonna make tens of millions of dollars. I mean, this was what a beautiful trade this was. Okay. Bonds. TLT. Why? Oh, yeah, there's no TLT. Whoa. So TLT has spiked on Friday. That tells me that the interest rate crashed on Friday. That's why TLT would rise, right? Did it crash on Friday? Let's find out. It doesn't look like it did. Interesting. Let me do weekly and let me do. Why can't I do? What happened to these things? Is this even up to date? Why can't I do a? Why does it have to be a line chart? It's not up to date. Where's my data from the 11th? Where's my Friday data? What the hell was going on, guys? I can't. They changed stickers again? US 10-year government. There we go. There we go. Okay, so is TLT up to date? Right, that's the 11th. So bond prices drop. That usually happens when yields rise. Now, bond prices went up. That usually happens. Oh, I need to. US 10-year government bond. Right, but that's the bond. I need the rate. I need the yield. I need a 10-year yield. How do I find 10-year yield? They stopped the others. US 10-year. There it is. They stopped doing. Yep, there it is. Boom. Okay, so what happened to my DGS1? US 10-year. The CFD, but it's all right. Oh, great. It looks identical. That's perfect. Come on, TradingView. You need to get this together. So look at the crash in the yield. Okay. So what does that say? What does it say for the yield to crash? Free market is telling the Fed not to raise rates. Interesting. You see, the Fed wants to raise rates because for some God knows what reason, and I've said this before, for some God knows what reason, people have been brainwashed that the Fed can stop inflation. They can't stop inflation. Raising the federal funds rate has absolutely nothing to do with inflation, like nothing to do with inflation. It is completely irrelevant. Inflation is 7.5%. Okay, unless the Federal Reserve is going to raise the rate from what is it now, 1%, 0.5%, all the way to 9%, so that all the money in your bank account is making more money than the inflation rate, the Fed isn't going to do anything. It's so ridiculous and it's so meaningless what the Fed will do. So the market is telling the Fed by dropping the free market interest rate not to raise the rate. And the stock market is dropping, telling the Fed not to raise the rate. And then the White House is telling the Fed to raise the rate. Now, the reason why they're telling the Fed to raise the rate is because mentally brainwashed people believe that if the Fed raises the interest rate from 0.5% to 0.75%, that somehow magically them losing 7% a year will go away. No, they're just going to lose 6.75% per year because the Fed raised your interest rate by 25 basis points. I mean, the whole thing is complete and utter insanity. Anyway, all right, rant over. Come join me on Spaces, and we're going to talk about this some more. Yeah, I know Alan Greenspan raised the rate, but that's not what stopped inflation. It made your bank account not lose money as fast. But the reason why we're having inflation right now is because there are supply issues, because the government decided to shut down every business thinking it's not going to affect the economy. And all the money printing didn't help either. All right, guys, that is it for me. Come join us at Unconfiscatable in Las Vegas, which is now mask-free. We should put like a big sign here, mask-free event. I should do that. All right. Anyway, talk to him. Oh, I got another super chat. Tone, give me your thoughts on VSTA. Sorry, Morgan. Let's do that. Let's do that. Let's do VSTA. VSTA. I don't know where the yield's gonna go, guys. Like right now, the bond chart is still bearish and the yield is still bullish. So the free market is trying to, raise the rate. And the Fed, like a dog chasing its tail, is just going to do what it can. Whoa, what is this? What is Vasta Platform? I have no idea what they're doing, but they came back from the dead with a vengeance. Wow. Wow. And it's a recent IPO. Why am I just hearing about this thing now? Damn. Damn. Man, if I ever start a hedge fund, there's going to be like a trader whose only job it is to trade IPOs after they've fallen 50%. This one fell 90%. Wow. Is this a legit business? If this is a legit business and the IPO opened at like 22, man, it's like the worst time to IPO August in the summer of 2020. Wow. They've never had a good earnings. They got earnings coming up. Moving averages are crossing. This looks beautiful. Would I have timed this low? Let me answer this honestly. Had I known about this stock going into or in 2021, would I have timed the buying of this low? You know what the answer is? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Okay. Even though it wasn't a monthly buy. Look at that. So check that out. What a beautiful monthly buy on the. I should look at that more. Like, how do IPOs do if they do really, really badly on a monthly scale with the MRI? Wow, look at that. Hey guys, those interested in the MRI, by the way, go to tonebase.com, products and services, MRI indicator. And once unconfiscatable ends, I'm going to be utilizing this way more. Oh, no, sorry, not that. This way more. This is the MRI trading and notification service. And you can set alerts for all your stocks for MRI. Wow, I wonder if the stock is on this list. Yeah, this is really cool. I don't have time to like dive into this. It would have been hard for me to time it. The weekly was bearish at the time and the daily was bearish at the time. But being bearish for like a 50-cent stock is kind of meaningless. I'm not trading it to the downside. I'm not going to short this thing. So when would I have recognized that it's going up? To be honest with you guys, I wish I had heard about it when it broke out above $4.50. That is an area of interest. Like right here, this green star candle right here, when it broke and closed above this area, because you can't really judge this monster candle. I have no idea what the hell happened. Maybe they cured cancer. I have no idea what they do, by the way. None whatsoever. Nor does it matter all that much for a technical trader, but you should know what your stock does. You should know if it's a legit company, right? You should know if it's like, Bitcoin or Ethereum. You should know if it's a legit project, right? So I only trade like legit. Like if this company is not legit, I wouldn't trade. But if it's a legit company, I would trade. Yeah, very cool. Very cool. I hope you got in on this and made ridiculous, 200% returns. Oh, Patrick's asking if I want to do spaces like right now. Well, like in 10 minutes. It's noon. Hopefully, there's no one else doing a major space right now. I don't want to compete with someone with 1,000 people in their spaces. Yeah, motorist, if you want to help me out with spaces. Todd, thank you so much for your super chat. Good morning, Tone. Is Unconfiscatable more of a Bitcoin tech conference or will it benefit noobs as well? It will absolutely benefit noobs. We're giving away hardware wallets. We're going to teach people how to set up hardware wallets. It is a conference that benefits noobs. The senior people would benefit more from like connections that they make and like friends that they see in the Bitcoin space. But as far as the presentations go, it is geared to noobs as much as advanced people. So yes, definitely noobs are welcome. All right, guys, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all on the next